Boop. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, April the 8th, 2021, and today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 133, Daniel 1, 1 through 21, and then Acts 2, 42 through 47. And I'm going to look at Acts today and talk about church business or church busyness and the church schedule. It's interesting because over the past year, the church, like everything else, really contracted. And we kind of focused on things that were what we could do, but also kind of, I think, what was important. And that was the biggest chunk of that was worship. And, everybody focused a lot of their time on online worship. And I think it's interesting because it forced the church to kind of rethink and step away from some of the drivenness that it had. The term used to be the program-driven church. And that was basically, it was really church marketing, marketing for all the demographics available in your neighborhood, marketing and coming up with program that would satisfy little niche desires and needs of the people who lived in the community, appealing to the desires of everyone possible, really with the hope that maybe they'll be interested in that and they'll come and they'll like us and then they'll want to stay. And so we kind of did a lot of that stuff that was really just church busyness. I'll just put it out there. I'm kind of cynical about some of it and just wondering how much of it really makes a long-term difference. Not to say that people don't find their way to churches because of that, but I'm not sure that it necessarily is the business of the church. Because of texts like this, when I read Acts 2, and you hear what the business of the early church was, that it sounds very different from today. It sounds very different from what you might worry about in a church programming committee. It says in verse 42, it says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. And that was church business. That was the business they focused on. Being taught about what it meant to follow in the way of Jesus, what it meant to live in the kingdom of God, what it meant to be one of these Jesus followers, to fellowshipping together, which meant, worship and praise and thanksgiving and celebration. And in their case, it goes on to say that a lot of that happened at the temple. And then the breaking of bread together, like sharing the meal, but specifically breaking the bread together the way Christ had told them to, had shared with the disciples, the apostles at the Last Supper, and to just the prayers, praying, for the world, praying for their neighbors, praying for each other, praying for the sick, all that. That was the foundation of their business. And business was good because it goes on to tell us that, and day by day, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. So they weren't really out doing things and having, these crazy events and programming driven stuff in order to draw people in. They were about the business of being Jesus's followers. And because of that, the Lord added to them daily. They were out in public doing this. It says that day by day, as they spent much time together in the temple, they broke bread at home and ate their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having the goodwill of all the people. And that was the business of the church. It wasn't just busyness. It was attending to the things of God. And God saw that and added to their number. As Paul might say, God gave the increase. So that's just a thought for today. That's the DBR for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Huggins will be back this week with another DBR for you. So go out, have a good day. Boop.